Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
The team is back together.
Yeah, finally got that fourth wheel out of here, Jared.
People said I was rude that I iced him. I'm like, hey, Jared, tell your mom to stop watching the show.
She sent at least 5 hate mails to us.
Yeah. But
she didn't.
Anyway,
she's a wonderful lady.
If you're wondering why you're here, if
She's
this
not
is
listening, don't worry.
if this is your first time.
Oh, real quick.
Okay.
Actually, say the intro part. I'll get back to it.
All right. This is typical, by the way. So if this is your first time listening, this is what to expect.
Yeah.
We are a rambling bunch of fools. We talk about running and running gear and running shoes and everything else that's going on in our life. So you get a little hodgepodge, a jambalaya, a smorgasbord. Any other words you can think of, Robbie?
Cosmic gumbo.
Yeah, a cornucopia. All right, of information. So, hey, Robbie, you had just mentioned something that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, I found out that my mom listens to our podcast.
Get out of here.
After you trash talk that you never listened for so long.
I don't think it's every episode, but she revealed that, and I was like, are you kidding me? Because
Thomas's mom listens too.
I don't.
All our moms are listening.
I think that's their way of finding out what's going on in my life.
That's definitely
But I think it's the best. I really dislike it when somebody calls me and says, hey, what's going on? I'm like, are you serious? Like, just subscribe to Believe in the Run.
Yeah, you do the work.
Yeah, go to Instagram. No, it gets served up to you. I mean, if you're on an Instagram feed, you get served up. But you know what? People are sleeping. And do you know what we like people to sleep on when they're sleeping?
Oh, Lagoon Pillow. Sorry,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Lagoon pillows.
You got it.
Yeah. All right.
Just in time.
Caught it.
Meg, tell people why Lagoon pillows are amazing for people.
They're amazing for people because
I mean, Ralphie would probably like it too.
there's all different kinds. There's softer ones, firmer ones.
Cooling ones.
Yeah.
That's like the Goldilocks. We use that a lot in our reviews. It's often overdone.
I stopped using it specifically because I felt like after we pretty much coined the Goldilocks like phrasing.
Oh, I thought
and then
you meant we made her popular. I was
no.
like, I think
but the Bears
It's pretty
did.
bold.
the
No, but
Golden
then
Books
I
did
started
that.
seeing other review sites use like, oh, there's a Goldilocks shoe, and I'm like, time to quit. As soon as that happens, you just drop it like a bad habit.
Come up with a new metaphor
Yeah. Now we have
or analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so anyway, so
The sneaker
the pillows, there's all different kinds. And you can figure out which one's best for you by going to lagoonsleep.com/believe, taking the quiz.
And then
It's not a hard quiz. You can't fail it.
You can't fail.
you
That's the
could
best.
fail it. You could fail it by not doing
Oh,
it.
by lying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
If you
lying
don't
about your
try-
lifestyle.
Why would you lie about your sleep style?
Because you don't want people to know.
Yeah.
I really do like it soft.
Yeah, but joke's on you. You get a shitty pillow
Yeah.
if you don't do it right.
It's like when you.
Well, no, I don't think any of their pillows are shitty.
True,
Just
true.
not the right pillow
Not the
for
right
you.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Easy, Meg.
It's like when you take those personality tests. I don't know if I'm actually taking the test for who I am
Or who you wanna
who I
be.
want to be.
Absolutely not. Are you taking it for who you are? It's who you want to be.
Yeah.
It's who you think you are.
Or,
exactly.
or you hope other people think you are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's how you think you're perceived, which is not accurate.
It's all a flat circle.
You just have a lot of strengths.
As
My weaknesses are too strong.
yeah, exactly. I don't know when to stop. Well, we are spiritual beings living in a physical world.
Is that a Madonna lyric?
No, that's
Oh, that's a material
a girl living in a material world.
or boy.
Yeah.
So we're spiritual.
We're not human beings. We're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Okay. Wow.
And a human needs a pillow. So anyway, you go to lagoon.com
We already did.
/believe.
No. Lagoonsleep.com/believe. Use code BELIEVE for 15% off.
We just
All
got
right.
2.
Yeah.
2 for 1 deal
There
there.
you go. That's like that's a king size.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So moving on, we're now in the last week of May or something.
Dude,
First
this-
week of June.
I gotta say,
Time is weird.
this year, it's maybe it's because we stopped doing COVID stuff, and now time just is going faster. And there's trips. I feel like we're going someplace every like weekend.
I literally am.
Omega, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Do you want to give that a pitch? Not yet.
We're not announcing that yet.
I mean, we can.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Yeah.
what are you doing with feathers this summer?
So I almost called her Featherston Nutrition. Megan Featherston and I are going on a hydration tour with ASICS. We're going to be hitting up Austin, Miami, Oklahoma City, Nashville, Atlanta, Boston. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Basically all of the really hot cities through the really hot months. It should be a blast.
It's not like a wet t-shirt contest, right? Okay.
It's not.
Oh boy.
I mean, when you say hydration tour, I think if in the 80s, people would be thinking a whole different thing.
I don't know I don't know. You might be.
This got weird.
Be crazy. Yeah. Megan are going around the country.
If ASICS
getting everybody.
If ASICS promoted it as that, might triple the
attendance.
So
yeah.
Megan and I have been calling it the Hot Girl Summer Tour,
which
I don't think ASICS is going to roll with.
It's not running by legal barrier.
But that's what we're calling it internally. It should be really fun. But yeah, we're going to host group runs at all of these cities. We'll put all the information out online so you guys can come join us. We're going to be giving out a ton of Scratch product and also some of the Nix biosensors, which you slap on your arm and that tracks your sweat rate. And so you can find out.
Are you giving those away or just letting them use them so that you can get the data?
We'll be giving them away.
Oh, cool.
5 to 10 at each stop.
I want to try one.
Are those expensive devices?
I bet you they're over $100.
I mean, they turn you into a robot, so I'm imagining they're not.
Well, they provide very valuable data. They're about $130.
Yeah, that's to me. That's
very valuable data.
They do.
I know.
That's like a price that I wouldn't spend money on for a nutrition item. So that's
but if you were getting Orioles jersey, you would.
Exactly.
You slap it on your arm. You go for a few runs. It tracks your sweat rate and your sodium loss, so you know exactly what you need to replenish, so that you don't cramp up in mile 22 of a marathon.
If you want to learn more about it, Robbe, the next Fuel for the Soul podcast, they actually have one of the representatives from Nix on to answer questions about it.
The CEO.
Yeah, so you should check it out.
Nix. It sounds honestly, it sounds like a nicotine patch.
Stevie Nicks. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a nicotine patch.
It's not. No.
Nikki Sticks.
Nikki Sticks. Oh, speaking of Stevie Nicks, I've been listening to Rumors.
That's the greatest album.
Yeah, it's like an album I never really got into, and then I feel like I'm at a time in my life where maybe I should. And I'm not breaking up with my wife.
I have it in vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I saw someone post something that said
I don't have a record player though.
Well, you can admire it. But I saw someone post something that there's a song called Silver Spring that didn't make the Rumors album. It was supposed to be, but it was so personal to Stevie Nicks that it was about her and Lindsey Buckingham that they cut it. And it's the best. Yeah, it's the best song.
Oh, I've got to listen to it. Is it sad?
Yeah, it's just super intense. And there's the dance, the live documentary of it. Someone's like, the last 2 minutes of this song are the best 2 minutes of music. And I gotta say, it's pretty good. So I've had that song stuck in my head for the last couple of days. So it's funny you said Stevie Nicks.
Man, I get emotional.
Yeah, it's a good jam. So it's called Silver Springs, but it's named after Silver Spring, Maryland. Because one time they were on tour once and going through all this stuff, and she looked out the window and the sign said Silver Spring, and she thought that was a cool name for a song.
All right.
So it's kind of rad.
I'm sure there was no drugs involved.
Yeah, none at all. Anyways, so that's a little musical history / tidbit.
Excellent.
For the podcast.
There you go, people.
And we can move on.
Yeah, we can. But maybe that should go on the Drop podcast, playlist.
Is that a thing?
We should make that.
Robbie should do it.
That's
an
idea.
DJ.
I'll put it together right now. Or not right now, just make a note and then forget about it and just look back in my document 3 months from now and say, oh, we should have done that.
If you had Megan's, it would be all Taylor Swift with a little bit of Harry Styles.
I mean, only the classics.
And then Coldplay for the throwbacks.
Yeah. So did you have any interest in trying to see Taylor Swift?
Yeah, but like not that much.
Okay.
Like I'm not going to sit at my computer and pay $1,000.
Plus, if the concert was like at 10, what would you do?
I mean, I'd make it work.
If it was at 10 at night?
Yeah.
I saw somebody post a video from the concert and I'm like, wow, that is a show. Yeah. That's a performance.
She was in New York while we were in New York, right? Mm-hmm. And it like poured and she was out in the rain and performed
in
the pouring rain because she's a champ.
She is.
Yeah.
But when you pay that much for a ticket, that's something you expect, is to have that kind of level of show completely out of control.
To this day, the best concert I've ever seen was Roger Waters' The Wall at Yankee Stadium in New York.
That would be a good one.
Insane. And he put on a show like that.
Yeah.
Theatrical level was insane.
And that was in probably the 90s or
no,
late
that
80s.
that was early mid 2000s.
Oh, he's still doing The Wall then? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great, because it's not the whole Pink Floyd, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Anyhow, you had something, Meg, that you wanted to bring up.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say thanks to Thomas for giving me tickets to see Blink-182 and Turnstile.
There's a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it was a good show, and I always forget how obsessed people are with Blink-182. People love them.
Did you see a lot of people with tattoos, like Blink-182?
I don't know. It was like I was back in high school, but everyone had wrinkles now. Like they were like older,
Like Sharpay High School.
Yeah.
What's crazy though? Like when I got the tickets, I really only wanted to see Turnstile.
Right.
And I was like, well, Blink will be cool, but I would love to see Turnstile, who's from Baltimore, play. And so you told me it wasn't that exciting when they were playing because like the stadium wasn't even full and people weren't dancing or anything.
They were still like an opener and people weren't even out of their seats, which is weird when it's a hardcore band. And
do you think just not enough people know about Turnstile
for
yet?
sure, yeah.
Because I thought they were have gotten huge.
Yeah, I mean they're still on the way, but yeah, it was a little disappointing. I mean, to see them in a club would be amazing, but which I'm kind of mad I missed out on. But they were good. They were really good. And then Blink, I also forget how many like songs that they have that I know or are popular. It's a lot.
Did you sing along?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't have a voice afterwards. I'm just kidding. I did. But there was one guy who I thought was going to fall over the balcony. He was so in like every lyric, every song, screaming, like holding his heart. I thought he was going to fall over.
I think Blink hit.
Did you video any of this?
I wish I would have done that.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think it hit in certain people's life at a certain time. It just left that indelible mark.
Totally. I mean, I remember in high school, there was a kid in my writing class who he had, that character they have with like the spiked hair.
Yeah.
He looked like him. He like made himself look like a Blink character.
Oh, wow.
Every shirt he owned, everything he wrote was all about Blink-182.
Meg, the nurse on the cover, has all those tattoos, just like her.
Do you?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways,
she puts makeup over him.
But it was nice. It was a good show, and it was a little weird because they were still real immature and dirty, and I'm like, you're 48.
It is weird. Like I never thought my sense of humor would change. Like when you're a teenager, you're like, this is funny. I don't get why adults don't like it, and then you're like, okay,
yeah. And it was all about like screwing each other's moms and
wow,
jaying off and all this other stuff. And
well, the weird thing is,
it's weird now.
Think about
it's weird.
Their moms at this point.
I know.
They're like 50.
Right.
You're like,
I don't know, but it was. I did love seeing Travis Barker drumming though, because he's one of the just best drummers of all time in the punk world, anyways. But
I guess my favorite song from them is Adam's song.
Yeah, that's a good song. They played it.
Like that's one that actually hits emotional. Like you can listen to it and get emotions out of it.
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
Okay, there you go. Another song for your the Drop podcast.
There you go.
Every week we'll just add these things in. Yeah. So you did that.
We could talk about running, but
yeah, we could.
I went to my first Believe Run Club run.
Yes.
On Thursday.
And that was incredible.
Yeah.
I got to take. Brandon was out of town, so I got to do the photos. So I got to snap photos and pretend I was a paparazzi to all you guys running. But Paul was here from New Balance, so you decided to jump in that night and show him around.
Yeah, we had fun. It was a good group.
How about the weather?
The weather, we could not have had better weather. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night out that night.
You had crabs that night.
I did, and not the kind that Blink-182 was talking about, which they were, by the way.
Oh wow! Was it because they were in Maryland?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, they had to mention that. But no, those are delicious. Very good steamed crabs, and Yeah, the run seemed good. You know what I realized? So it's Paul Zielinski, right?
Yeah.
It is.
I'm pretty sure that's the same last name as Rick Moranis in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That does sound like it is.
Let me check just
I'm
to
gonna go
make
with
sure.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Zielinski, but pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close spelling.
So Paul
Wayne
came down. We
Zielinski.
actually
Yeah.
did a podcast with him.
Yeah, it'll be out this Monday.
Yeah, well, we're going to cover the shoe that's in front of us, which we'll talk about later, the SC Trainer V2. And then, so Paul hung out, and we got, actually, the day after, you went on a run with him in the morning.
Yep.
And I had to drop the boys. So I came back, and we went to, have you been to Needs yet?
No, with the K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like bread.
I know, it always throws me off. I'm like, what? Why would I need? What did you need? It's like it's almost like they just have life essentials there.
Yeah.
But I guess that is kind of a
Not when you add the K and
Yeah.
an A.
You could just say Needs.
yeah.
I mean, it's up
I
to
haven't been to Needs, but it looks pretty great.
I thought it was really good.
It was good, but it wasn't what I expected.
What were you
I
expecting?
expected like a bakery, like they would have, like you go up to like a case and be like, okay.
That was
okay.
there.
Yeah, but like we had like
It was like a
this
sit down.
sit down fancy breakfast. Like I had eggs and potatoes because I saw someone else eating it. And Meg's like, "Did you just order that because you saw that over there?" I was like, "Yeah."
Nice. Oh, so they have
But they do have like it's part of H&S Bakery, which
Right.
is the place that's very well known here that makes bread.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
and apparently, don't they make all the buns for McDonald's like on the East Coast?
They might. They
That's-
own all of Harbor East, and
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
but running down Elysiana in the morning smells amazing because there's always fresh bread going.
Oh yeah, the smell of fresh bread. I don't know. It's hard to beat that. I mean, I grew up in Hershey, so the smell of chocolate is pretty good in the air. Not gonna lie, but
I like it when Domino's is rendering the molasses out
Oh,
of the
I
shit.
Oh no,
hate
that's
that.
the worst smell.
That is like I avoid going over to Under Armour when
Yeah.
that's happening.
I like that.
It is funny because that one is a love or hate thing.
I also
it's
like the smell
terrible.
of gasoline.
I mean, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay with that one. The
You're okay with that
The
one?
molasses smell.
I'm pretty
that was
sure
trash.
when we were bored as kids, we just smelled gasoline as something fun to do.
Well, I remember my friend was siphoning his motorcycle, and he, like, when he pulled on the hose, he ended up like swallowing like
Yeah,
a
that'll-
bunch of gasoline. And I remember his mom like calling the hospital, and they're like, "It'll be okay."
Yeah, did he throw it up or did he just spit it out?
I don't even remember how the story ended, but the part that I was surprised was that, after like chugging a bunch of gasoline, he was going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good one. Wait, what was the other gasoline? Oh, sorry. Wait, how do we get on gasoline?
The smell.
Smells.
And this may not come as a surprise, but I always thought the smell of skunk was actually pretty good.
It's in degrees.
It's like,
What?
yeah,
It's in
yeah,
degrees.
totally.
I know what Robbie's talking about. Like
Thank
a
you.
whiff of it isn't bad. It's it's like from 50 feet, not bad. But as you get closer,
Yeah.
then it
There you
starts to
go.
intensify.
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy.
All right.
I don't know.
I do.
about that.
You know what I don't like? Smell of fresh cut grass, which everybody seems to love.
What? I love that.
I'm ki-
It smells like springtime or summer's coming. Or
Yeah,
Like,
I'm actually with you on that one.
All
Thomas.
right.
Thomas and I have a olfactory.
Olfactory factory.
it's just
Yeah.
the older you get, the weirder you like smells.
No,
that's always been the case.
Yeah, yeah, youngin. Anyway, yeah. So you did some running with him. Pretty much all your running this week, you wore two shoes. One that's not off embargo yet, the Kinvara Pro.
Yep.
So we can't even really
Talk
discuss
about it.
it, but we can say we got it. And then the other thing is, both you and I have been running in the SC Trainer. Robbie, you've been running, you raving. Like Robbie came
Okay, I
in.
had one run in it, so let's.
Yeah, but Robbie's excited about this shoe. Can you tell him what it is?
Skechers Go Run Ride 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I promise you, Meg, you will. I think you will. Like
I just
it a lot
can't
too.
look down. Like
Yeah.
that's the real problem.
Yeah,
It's just not. It's not a cute shoe.
don't look down. That sounds like a name of a horror movie.
Yeah, it probably is.
In this case, it's not. It's a rom com.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing like with a moped. You really enjoy riding mopeds. It's a lot of fun, but you don't want to be seen,
Yeah,
seen
no one
on.
wants. You won't be pedaling a motorcycle.
Yeah. Actually, now everybody with these electric bikes, they're pretty much like, we're not calling them mopeds anymore,
The stigma's gone.
but they are like, these people are riding mopeds.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Anyways, and especially if you have a folding electric bike, come on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Megan, I mean, look at.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me go back to Ride 11 real quick so I don't forget. Right. The Ride 11, I think you will love it a lot. It's I didn't realize that was $125. I thought it was gonna be like $150. I think it's like the Max Road before, but maybe not as much of a roll through. But
and you love the Max Road. That was
but I thought the upper wasn't good on that, and I think the upper on this is actually really nice.
So what do you think is going to happen to the Max Road?
Well, they made it like Max.
Yeah, we saw it at Trey.
Yeah, I don't know if
TRE.
I'm even going to be into it, but
yeah, it might be. It might be too much for Megan. The Beast.
There's no such thing.
The Beast was the way.
Yeah. Anyways, on to the. Are we talking about this right now?
We don't have to. I was just going to say, Meg's been running in it and put in tons of miles on it, and we'll get to the review part of it later. But
I also have been wearing the Triumph 21.
Yeah, the Triumph. The banana.
Yeah, which I honestly didn't love that colorway, but
I actually like it. The sunflower.
It photographs well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the bottom of these shoes, Meg and I were like looking at our shoes because where are these grapes?
Okay, first of all, they're not grapes.
It's the mulberry trees.
Yeah, they're in the park.
But mine are all covered in it, and I didn't run in the park. I ran along the water.
Well, they're there too.
There's some throughout the neighborhood and stuff that I've stepped on.
Like I was like, why do these shoes look filthy?
Yeah.
And we've had them for, I mean, you put like 50 miles on these already, but I haven't put that much on mine.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Time for your first check-in. Kofuzi here. I'm gonna be taking care of you for this podcast episode. You know I'm a big fan of the drop, and I listen all the way to the end every single episode. I like to say I'm an inaugural member, if not president, of the Last Drop fan club. But today, for these check-ins, we're gonna be talking about doing a little bit of trail running in the summers. I like to get out into the woods, just run a bunch of miles, have a lot of fun, and don't worry about the pace. So that's what I'm gonna say for you guys today, whether you're on the trails, whether you're in the woods, or on the roads, or maybe you're on the treadmill, wherever it is, make sure you're having fun today. That's gonna be the goal.
So this morning I went to the park to do my 800s, and like the UA crew like rolled up deep.
Oh, no way.
Like,
but making a
Casey.
good question. She's like, they're using the Annex, which is kind of like it's an 800, but it's not
a makeshift 800 meter track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a loop in a
flat-ish
park.
loop.
And they have the new track over at Under Armour.
Yeah.
Why are they using a gravel beat up?
They were there running on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on now. And also, it's like it's cool if you're doing it by yourself because it's a walking path, like where people walk their dogs and stuff.
But I get so mad when they don't get out of my way.
Oh, I do too.
Like
100%.
No,
Yeah.
When I get irritated is when somebody's walking with a leash and they're on one side of the road and
Which
their
is every
dog's on
time.
the other, and you're like, really?
It's even better when it's in Patterson Park and the path is 30 feet wide
Yeah.
and somehow they're still doing it.
And you're just like, just go over by your dog.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm not going to be like on your left. I'm just going to charge.
Yeah.
And like be
you
as
might
close
not
to
even
them as
see them
possible.
until the last 5 feet.
That's true.
Anyway, so what was it like doing your 800s were ridiculous today.
They were fine. I laced up the Vaporfly. That shoe is so good. It's also what I'm gonna.
The newest one?
He's going to
What
run
I'm
the
gonna-
10 miler. You're not
Yeah.
doing the 10 miler, are you, Robbie? Because this morning Meg asked me, I said, I don't think he's doing it.
I was planning on it, and then after my run yesterday, I'm like, I'm not going to embarrass
it.
myself and believe in the run.
Wait, what do you mean? You can just jog it.
I don't even know if I can jog.
It's also going to be so hot.
Is it?
I don't know.
But it's such a fun day. Like you go and you run this horrible 10-mile course.
You can stop by for the fun.
And then you drink some seltzers at 8:30, listen to a band.
I'll consider it. It'll be a last minute decision. The Baltimore 10 miler is one of my favorite races.
It is.
Both of you guys say that, and I like the after party, but the race itself, the course is just, it's horrible.
But that's just part of it.
That's what makes it so
Yeah.
great, is that it's so terrible and the after party is so good that
Yeah.
it's like the two sides of one coin.
when you coming back in, you got to go up that hill.
Yeah, it's
a
the
monster
the
hill,
hill
too.
never ends. It just keeps going.
Yeah, it's going to be 90 on Friday. So Saturday should be great. 86.
Wow.
It's perfect.
Meg doing let's see, 5:30 paces here for your 800s. Is that correct or just faster?
Like closer to 540s or just under 540.
Okay, I'm looking at your Strava.
You know what's
Can't
happening is
tell.
Coach Caster's dropping the hammer on her. How
Coach
many was
K.
it today?
It was
8?
8.
He'll make you a pro fast enough.
That's okay.
So wait, what did you say it was today? 800s?
Yeah.
Is that technically Yasso 800s? Or you
Yes,
doing-
those are 800s.
Were
Yeah, but
you-
is there 8 of them? Is that the...
I think 8.
Is it? I thought.
And then that
you
can
just said-
predict your...
predict your marathon.
Yeah.
12.
Whoa.
That's not accurate, though.
Whoa. Are we going for a 540 pace marathon?
It would be the time of your 800 is the time
Yeah.
of your marathon. So if I ran a 238 or a 248, like
So-
however long it took to run the 800,
So
How
a,
long did it
fi-
take you to run an 800?
240s, something.
a 5:30 pace would be 2:45
Yeah.
800s, basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Look at that math.
yeah.
You know what she said? So after she runs this, we're walking to the car to come in this morning, and she goes, "I could probably." She goes, "Oh, the weather feels like the humidity dropped a little bit," and I was like, "Oh, you want to do your workout over?" And she goes, "I could probably do 2 or 3 more 800s." Dang. Have you ever felt like that after a workout?
I don't know. I
Never.
can't
I'm
remember
like,
last time I did trying to remember when I did a
Face says
workout.
no.
yeah, when that last rep, I'm always like, this is it. I cannot wait. I'm going to do the last rep, and then I can do my cool down, and I am done.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when I do, I try to, I don't know if I'm very good at doing workouts, but I do try the last rep, just go as hard as possible, even if it's only prescribed to do a certain thing.
I feel like if I watch, if
You're like, screw it,
It makes me feel better.
I'll get injured here.
I feel like
That's exactly what happens.
in
every
my
time.
reps, it starts off fast or hitting the number, then I slow down a little bit, and then I speed back up at the end.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because you get too comfortable in the middle section. You got to keep your head in the game.
You think it's just going to go on forever.
Yeah.
And then when you see the light at the end, I mean, it's like a race, I guess. Anyways, so you did your workouts. That was good.
Yeah, running's good. Yeah, that's it.
Let me see.
That's all I got.
Let me
That's all I got. Running's
me-
good.
Running is
Running is good. We're going to put that on a shirt.
inspect your weekly mileage here. Last week you did 68 miles.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
At least 15 of those, or 50 of those in the SC trainer.
All right.
What about you guys going to a baseball game yesterday?
That was crazy. Like it, unfortunately, the Orioles lost. I'm going to spoiler alert.
Yeah, it was not one of the worst games probably I've been to in a while.
What happened?
They just
Nothing.
lost 5-0. They had like 3 hits. It was just boring.
Oh,
But,
But
you know, we had Robbie's boys there, and we got to watch them there's like this little playground there, which they should just keep open all the time.
yeah, they
Like,
should.
like kids.
They need to expand it too because it's not big enough for. There's about
there's-
100 kids on it.
And I was surprised. Like the park was amazing. Like even though the game wasn't that exciting,
Yeah, it's always good.
the
time.
park is amazing, and there was plenty of seats available. Like I was like, holy cow.
It was still a pretty good crowd for Orioles, all things considered.
Are
As
we
far as
still
their
in
track
Are we
record.
still in the like hunt? Like, are we still?
Oh
doing
yeah,
well?
we're still have the second best record in baseball,
That's insane.
third, but we're in second place. Anyways, but
Who has the first?
the Rays,
Okay.
and they're in our same division, so they're really good. But it was a nice, yeah. Anytime you can go to Camden Yards, it's nice,
The
and
temps were perfect. Like short, like you felt comfortable in short sleeve and shorts.
we
Yeah.
had good seats.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad for Thomas because I felt like he had to help me babysit my kids.
We
And-
looked like a modern family.
Oh,
Like-
100%.
Oh, I didn't even
Because
think
think
about,
about
that.
this. Kimmy is Asian.
Yeah.
Robbie is not.
Right.
So your children,
Yeah.
they look Asian.
Yeah.
And so Robbie and I are walking together. He's got his mustache. And
Tom and Jonas wants to swing, so he's holding Thomas's hand in my hand, and I'm like, yeah, that's who we are.
I'm like,
Oh,
our
there's-
two adopted
Yeah.
Asian babies.
There's no video or photos
Embrace
of
I
this?
mean, there's video of us at the park that you can throw up
Okay,
on
good.
there. But yeah. And then we're like watching the kids at the park, drinking our Miller Lights. And, you know,
Yeah, it was a good time. I think my kids can get a little bit antsy, as probably any kid during a 9-inning game. But
I don't even think my boys would have made the entire game.
yeah,
Like my boys back then, we used to go, we used to do like what?
They'd last for like 30 minutes sitting at a chair watching the game.
Like
Yeah.
we'd get a hot dog.
yeah.
We'd sit.
yeah. I tried to bring some snacks, and I got them ice cream and stuff like that. But
Got Kimmy an expensive jersey.
yeah, I was like,
Was she excited when she saw it?
yeah. It was.
Was it the right size?
Yeah, it's the new City Connect jerseys, and she got a bonus at work. So she was like, I get to get treated. I was like, that's fair. I agree. I concur. And it's also like, it's big on her, but it's basically my size. So,
So you can
I could
swing
double
it.
down on that if I need to. So yeah, we got an Adley Rutschman jersey, which is awesome.
And
So we're ready. We're ready for the playoffs.
I had to look them up because you know how much I know about baseball. And I'm like, why did they put this guy's name on the back of the special jersey? He got $8.1 million for signing. It's the most in the MLB ever.
like for a rookie to get signed, because they can make they make league minimum for, which isn't much. I think the first year, 2 years, it's like $600,000, but you can make up for it with the signing bonus. Anyways,
Got a big one.
but he got paid.
And he's on
He's
the
like
back of everybody's shirt.
23 years old. Not bad.
These sports players, we've been watching all these documentaries, and they make so much money.
It is shocking, like, especially in the NFL too,
Yeah.
where you have quarterbacks who will make $50 million a year, or whatever.
Right.
Is Lamar Jackson making like 43 or something?
Probably.
It's just so much money.
Yeah.
And that's not counting sponsorships and brand deals and everything else. It's amazing.
I mean, it's good if you can get it.
Yeah.
Thomas, you texted me during the baseball game to say that you didn't know how Robbe survived
Oh,
general life.
because I left my phone.
yeah. So I sent Megan an image of.
He told
so
me to send it.
we all left the seats at the same time. I think you were taking the boys to get ice cream and getting the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I went out to get another beverage,
Yeah.
and I get back. Oh, by the way, yeah, I got a pretzel. Have you seen what they're doing to pretzels?
What, leaving salt off or something?
No, they've got a new way of folding them where you're like, this is not a full pretzel.
No way.
It's like a half pretzel. You're buying like a half pretzel now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'm like, the price is still full price, which
Yeah.
ridiculous. Beer at the stadium, $10.99 a pop. The pretzel was probably $7 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But they got you. Once you're in there, you got to pay for
Oh,
it.
you should
Yeah.
have been at the. Good thing you didn't go to the Blink-182 concerts. Beers there were $16 each.
That's like just you're
For-
hostage.
Insane. Plus, there was tax wasn't included either, so it was like $18 by the time you're done.
Don't you just bring a flask to concerts?
No. Oh, so that was the going into there. They really had it locked down. I
wow.
tried to bring my John G sling bag,
Yeah.
and they were like, "You can't bring that in." I'm like,
What'd you do with it?
"Why?" And they're like, "It doesn't fit the measurements," which is like the size of a postcard.
Did you just crinkle it up?
What if a lady had a purse?
There's lockers outside that you can pay to rent.
Did
for the
you
game.
have to?
So
What?
what happened was I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And the women who were running it were like super cool. And they're like, looked around. They're like, hurry up, just go, just go.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, just fold it up when you get in. And so they were cool about it. But I know other people
We're having to
that
get
went through
lockers.
different entrances. They made them, if they just had a small clutch, they had to go
Oh, that's a
like
nightmare.
put it in the locker.
They did that to us at one of the baseball games. Do you remember that?
Some of them, yeah, it's the rules are insane. I think the Orioles are actually the same, but you can bring in, if you have a clear plastic bag,
That's it. Yeah.
you can bring stuff in. So the crazy thing is that if you have a bag, like they don't put it through the metal detector, they like kind of look through and then put it off to the side.
Yeah.
And people were telling me like you can carry in knives, anything like that.
Oh,
if you just put it
jeez.
inside a tampon case or something. Because no one's gonna look in that.
I think if I was carrying around a tampon case, somebody might look.
I don't know. It might be a
Just out of curiosity, why is this guy
Yeah.
carrying? Anyway, so I leave the seats. I come back. Robbie's still out. I look in the cup holder. Robbie's mobile phone is there. Like we left. This is in a stadium.
Probably
we
shouldn't
leave
have left
the
it
seats.
there.
Mobile phone in the cup holder, and then I look on the ground. His keys, his car keys, are just on the ground.
I knew I left the car keys. The phone I thought was in the bag, but it was in the cup holder. So I was like, okay, probably shouldn't have left it there. But we were in a safe section.
Safe section.
So,
What versus any other section?
well, in the upper deck, I would consider an unsafe section.
Okay.
Because I
Rowdy
spent
boys.
much time in the upper deck, and I know the degenerates that abide up there. But it was all those little leaguers and people I knew, actually, like kids that went to school with my
It
kids.
was crazy. I felt like we were in like a suburb of the stadium. It was like moms and kids and
It was a little wild.
yeah.
And we were also on a wall. We were in front of the press box, so it wasn't like an open space where people were coming. It was dumb. Don't get me wrong.
It's not that we were gone and the stuff's just there.
Yeah. But,
Like it would have been easy. But
and that's how I get into so many weird adventures, is because you just
like if I left the seats and I was like walking to get my beer and I realized my phone was still at the seats, panic attack running back.
I did remember it, and I like when I was out there, and I was like, I'll be fine.
Would you be devastated if you came back and your phone was gone?
Not really. I think it would just be kind of,
I guess I'll get a new one.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like before where you would lose, everything's in the cloud and all that stuff. So it's
True.
not like before where you lose your whole life.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if I want somebody carrying around my whole life though.
Yeah, probably not. But I think I've learned to let it go.
And I told Meg, I was like, at first I didn't know why Robbie wanted to get there so early because the game didn't start till 1:30, but we were like leaving at 11:30.
It started at 1. It started
Okay,
at
1.
Yeah.
And I was like, walking over, I was like, okay, their legs are tiny. It
yeah.
takes like the time that it took to get from. So we parked in Little Italy and walked over.
So it's a mile. It was a mile walk, a little more.
Yeah.
And
We started getting there. How long is it going to be? Like
Yeah.
there was some. How would you say? And Robbie's measurement for them was it's the same walk as it is to school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, it's a little bit more, which is true.
Yeah.
But, and the day before, I did the gunpowder trail race with them. So
That surprised me.
That
Like
was cool.
they're complaining about walking a mile when
You just-
they did 5 miles.
Once they
the day
get past the
before.
15-minute mark, you're good. It's like any kid. In the very beginning, it's kind
wait,
of
they both did the 5 miles with you?
Well,
Rye left him.
yeah, we were in the first mile, and it's a long uphill, about half mile uphill, and I was like, all right, we're gonna walk this, hike this, and Rye just started running. I was like, well, I'll see him at the top. I didn't see him the rest of the race, and I was like, we're in the woods, a trail race.
Okay, are you not panicking?
I was a little panicky at first, and I was like, I mean, he's gonna be. There's people. He's not gonna be at the back of the pack. So I was like, I think he'll figure it out. And yeah, and he did. Like he actually, he waited for us a couple times, and then just was like, I don't see him. And then, like there's a woman, I forget her name now, who ran with him then, and he was just, yeah, she said he did good. And there was some 2 checkpoints where there was people like saying go this way. So I was like, did you see a kid who looks like this kid like come through? And like, yeah, he's like 5 minutes ahead. Like whatever. I think he finished like 15 minutes ahead of us.
With Robbie's wallet,
Are you gonna
phone,
No.
and keys.
Yeah.
Are you signing him up for every cross country thing available?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But
I mean, I think that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I was surprised because he had never really done that before, but he's pretty independent. And I was a little nervous because I didn't go over with him, like follow the green flags, do this and this, because I assumed we were all going to stay together. And then, yeah, so I was a little nervous. Like I asked you for Johnny Lyons.
I know.
number.
I'm doing the cycle with the Faster Bastards, which Megan asked me, she's like, hey, I'll make bagels. What time will you be back from your ride? And so I looked up my last ride with him, and it was 30 miles, and we did it in an hour and a half. Doesn't include our little stop for like, we get coffee halfway. So probably 2 hours altogether. Out and back, you got another 15 minutes back to the house. So I'm like, it should be done regular time. We should be good. I should be home. What time did I say? Like 10:30, 11?
You said like 10:30.
Yeah, 10:30. So we get out there, and first off, it always takes some courage to ride with them, because I wasn't going to go, because I went 2 weeks ago and I was like, I am not, in their shape. Like they're riding.
They ride every day.
It's a hilly course, and they drop the hammer. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to ride. Meg's like, are you worried that you'll get dropped, or are you worried that you're going to get injured or something? I said, I'm just worried I'll get dropped. And she goes, just go. So I went, and the second I go, like we're going out, and Steve Goodman, who leads it, he was like, yeah, we're gonna do a little different downhill. Instead of going the regularly downhill, we're gonna go this way. And he's like, it ends up in the same place. And so I thought we were gonna take a detour, maybe a quarter mile, and be done. We ended up we were at almost 30 miles when we made it to our midway point of the normal ride.
Okay.
And I'm like, you guys, this is ridiculous.
You're
killing me.
That's a lot of.
Well, I hadn't been out there, and they're dragging me like average pace, 18 miles per hour over, it was 17.7 or whatever, but over 5,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah.
And I'm just like getting like, it just, at a certain point, you're like just trying to survive to stay up with them. We make it to the thing, and I'm like, okay. Made it back to the house. I'm like, Meg, I'm going to be a little late. I'm getting text from Robbe. They're like, hey, do you know Johnny's number? And I'm like, oh, crap. He's lost his kid.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping he would. I wanted to say, just if you finish the race, can you make sure he's good? But it turned out all right. So, yeah, it was.
Mine didn't turn out all right. I got home. Megan's already eating her bagels.
Ooh. Did you eat the whole batch? You're just
covered
in bagel crumbs everywhere.
Yeah.
She did something very sweet. She made, I like a salt bagel, and she made one salt bagel.
Wow.
Out of the batch.
What do you usually make? Everything bagels?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
She makes everything in a sesame, but a salt, I knew that was special for me.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it. I think salt bagels are weird and gross, but.
They're not weird or gross. Here's what's great about it. When you make the egg and cheese on it, it's got that nice salty egg and cheese, and yeah.
But everything has that and more.
It's everything.
Sometimes everything is too much for me.
But do you put salt? Do you put bacon on your sandwich with the salt bagel? Because that would be very salty then.
We didn't have bacon. I don't know. Did I get any roast beef on it?
I don't know.
That's the thing I like doing is you grill up. So you make the egg and cheese, and you fry up a piece of roast beef on it, which is basically like a cheesesteak. Throw that on it, on the salt bagel.
That actually does sound pretty good.
So good.
I feel like whenever I'm at the grocery store and I see bacon on sale, I can't resist buying it. It's almost like I just have to.
I like it, but
you get groceries online, but
yeah,
making bacon to me is too much.
You just put it on a pan.
But there's
and
grease.
That's all that happens.
Just put on the foil. You're good.
Why aren't we eating more bacon?
I don't like it.
It is crazy that you go your whole life without realizing you can just bake bacon. I mean, it's in the name of the word.
Bacon.
And you just put it on a baking sheet. Yeah. And you're good to go. But I still sometimes like it doing it in a cast iron pan though.
We have that.
Sometimes I like the
sizzle.
A little more control.
Sizzle.
Yeah. But and do you get thick cut or the just normal?
Her mom got this peppered one that I really like.
It's a thick cut peppered
bacon. Thick cut covered in pepper.
Yeah. That's good stuff there. That's high class living.
That is.
There with Milanos.
Yeah. It's when you put your trailer up on blocks and take the wheels off.
Yeah.
All right, guys, time for a second check-in. Let's remember that every run has a purpose. For me, in the summer, a lot of those runs are just go out there and have some fun. And today, the whole point of it is to get out on the trails, have some fun for about 2 hours. And that also means I'm not gonna worry about pace. I'm not gonna worry about running super hard or heart rates or power. I'm just out here to have fun. So for you guys, just remember what the point of today's run is. And hopefully, no matter what it is, you're having fun.
Oh man, I was reading this article about in the New York Times about the Hamptons, and there's I think it was the Hamptons or Montauk. That's the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a trailer park there, and I think this is kind of like the trailer park that Matthew McConaughey lived in Malibu, where it's it's a trailer park, but like
Airstreams.
Yeah, but this is it used to be an actual trailer park that was cheap to live in, and now because the whole place is gentrified or whatever, they look like really crappy trailers, but inside they've turned them into like very nice. Yeah, and it's all these people who have 4 different homes, like in Aspen and Italy and Manhattan and the Upper East Side, and then a trailer. And one of these plots went for $3.4 million.
That's pretty good.
And it's a literal like prefab trailer, garbage. Like
that's pretty good. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about that,
like,
because
dude,
we had
people have too much money.
We had people who live like when I was running the other day, I saw a guy coming off his boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there's people that live on boats here in Baltimore.
Right.
And I'm like, at what point is that better than living out of your car? Like
yeah.
if you're living in a car, we're like, ooh, they really hit hard times. But when
it's the same thing.
Living in a boat, like it didn't look like it had that much room on it.
Oh no. My best friend lives on a boat in California, and it's like a 26-foot sailboat. It's tiny. I've stayed there with them before, and it's not that much bigger than say a cargo van, or conversion van or whatever.
And I'm like, can you imagine doing full time? It's got to be hot in the summer. Mm-hmm. It's got to be cold in the winter.
Oh yeah,
like,
it is real cold.
When's optimal boat living?
I guess it's the same spring, fall.
Yeah,
but it is crazy cheap because he's in Dana Point, and to live there would be crazy expensive, and he pays like $400 a month for a slip fee. And you have to take a shower like in a bathhouse and stuff.
Yeah, that's like you have to leave your boat, go take a shower someplace.
But he travels a lot, so go away for a month, come back. You don't have to. It's like to instead of paying $2,500 a month rent and being like, well, I wasn't even there for a whole month. It kind of works, but it's a weird life though.
I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it. I know you couldn't.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. But apparently somebody was saying that, did you see that sailboat that was like kind of moored at the Broadway Pier in Fells Point? When we were having lunch there the other day?
Yeah.
It's just there. Like that guy's just living there.
Oh.
And you can't,
you're not even allowed to park a
No,
there usually.
And apparently he's been. When you go running, is that there every time?
It's been there. He's got like a big bag or something.
Yeah. It's a tent.
Oh, it's a tent.
He's just living there.
All right.
I'm like, man, that is not bad. Prime real estate for
real.
free.
Well, that was the thing. We had the people living in Harbor East or whatever. I'm like, and they had their tents plugged in, and they had power and everything. And I'm like,
Netflix and chilling.
And even the guy who lived in Canton Park, I'm like, this is prime real estate. Like
really
you're on the water, beautiful views. They mow the grass for you.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I was like, man, imagine just living on a boat right there in Fells Point. It's like, I don't know how that works. Is it like who enforces that? Is it like the Coast Guard or who is that?
That's a good question. I think we have police on the water.
No, not anymore.
We don't.
Not since there was during the defund the police thing, they took away the maritime police.
What?
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah. I guess it was I think it was a way to say we're
cutting costs,
defunding the city to say it was doing something without really doing something, So because I think maybe the effect they had was so minimal that they were like, well, we'll just...
Yeah, they just were there to pull bodies out.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. and which is funny because where that guy is parked is where a lot of the bodies for
Float
whatever
up.
reason end up. I think.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Nice.
Meg, you want to take that to your review of the New Balance SC Trainer V2?
Sure.
Dude,
Let's talk about it.
you got some heat on your YouTube first thoughts with Paul.
Yeah, people didn't love
because you were sleeping with the enemy.
that we brought in. Here's the thing.
You knew that was gonna happen.
But here's the thing. It's not like I'm lying about how I feel about the shoe. If I didn't like it, I probably would have been like, "Hey, come do the first thoughts with me," because then I wouldn't have been able to like tear it apart. But anyway, people said that it was terrible, and they were very angry that Paul was involved in first thoughts. So sorry, people. We will not include people from the brand in our first thoughts anymore.
Yeah, maybe just.
It did get a little technical, I thought. Like we did cover a little too much of.
Well, here's the thing: is like
How?
I
It's
gave
2 minutes long.
Yeah.
What were you-
Yeah, I
Sorry,
suppose.
go ahead, Meg. What
I
were you-
gave my opinion, and then Paul kind of chimed in as to why I felt that way, which I thought would be a fine way for first thoughts to go, but the people felt otherwise.
Uh-huh.
So they
Yeah,
tore us apart.
I think maybe next time.
Don't include Paul.
Well, what we did when we did stuff with Dito and Tracksmith was like a shoe overview or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
my
I mean,
idea was,
she did it because you did the Noah Droddy.
and I was like, that was fun.
Oh, I forgot.
But
about
that's
that.
an athlete, which I feel like is different than a product.
But he still
line
can't say
manager.
anything bad about the shoe.
And I think I still said. I think I said something bad about the shoe in that review, which
Yeah.
was true. I was like, the heel slip. Something about the
Yeah.
which actually was really bad in that shoe.
Very bad. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest upper. But yeah, so you got a little bit of flack from that. And that is the thing. Like, we have relationships with these brands, and we have relationships to get information, to understand the thing. And yeah, we do separate events to do brand awareness and, basically share running experiences with some brands with you. So I could see how some people would get confused on whether or not they're getting a totally unbiased review of a shoe when we work so closely with some of these brands. I mean, can I say that we never are biased? There's certainly bias. There was bias before we work with brands on which brands I preferred over other brands.
It's funny. I think we were almost before we did anything with brands. I felt like you almost wanted to like make sure you're cool with brands, and now that brands are cool with us, it's almost like I really don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care, and because you realize that they don't care either.
Well, they do care, but they care in a way that I feel like there's people internally that are saying the same things that we're saying or complaining about the same stuff we're complaining about.
Yeah.
And so when we do, they get the opportunity to go, hey, look, it's not just me, Believe in the Run or whatever called that out as well.
No, they appreciate if you actually are honest, because nobody else will tell them that.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the things that's hard to convey. It's like, we're legitimately say what we think about the
Well,
shoes.
that's the other thing. I'm like, if go watch one of our reviews, and you may not agree with us that the Nova Blast was the greatest daily trainer last year that was out. You may not.
Yeah.
But if you took a poll and looked at it, the majority of people who tried that shoe really loved it, really liked it. So if you look at the shoes that we give good marks to, see if
Like
we're the only one.
The
Like, I
SC
think across
Trainer
the
last
board.
year and the Super Blast, anyone who tried that is pretty much like, I love this shoe.
Yeah.
These shoes.
And the Super Blast came out a little too late for us to include it. We got it after we had finished our our gear of the year.
Or we didn't, but we hadn't run it enough to really.
Yeah, we didn't love it at first.
Yeah, it was one of those shoes that kind of grew on you. But I will, along those lines of, oh man, what was it? I just lost it. Okay, carry on.
Was it about brands in general?
It was, but I totally forget where I was going with that.
Super
All right,
Blast.
well, we can talk about the SC Trainer 2 here, which, like I said, my first thoughts that were not biased or influenced by Paul.
I remember what I was
All
going
right,
to say.
hit
I
it.
was going to say, at the same time, I feel like right now with shoes, it's super hard to make a bad shoe. Like there are some bad ones.
Yeah.
But most people have figured it out to the point, especially with all the new foams and
Yeah.
everything, to the point where like it's most shoes are really good.
They're really good, but I think that there are when it comes to an SE trainer, it's such a unique ride, and people love it for what it is. That when the second one comes out and it has some things like a lower stack height or something, that people are like freaked out. And I think that what people want to know is, if I loved this shoe before, will I love it again? And perhaps when they see, they're used to us doing our first thoughts on our own. So when they see Megan talking with the brand person, they're like, is she giving me the information I want about this shoe?
Yeah.
And we just filmed the full review with just Megan and myself. And I think you do give a pretty solid vibe for this. This shoe fits into an area where you like, and I'll let you discuss it. I will say that of the SC V1 and the SC Trainer V2, I think I kind of would like the upper on the V1 better, but the upper had problems for a lot of people. Meg?
Yeah, I don't agree on the upper at all. I think this is such a better upper. The V1, a lot of people had problems with the collar rubbing their ankle in the front.
A lot of people?
Like everyone
No,
I talked to.
I'm saying you were one of the people.
I was one of them, but everyone, did you have that issue?
I didn't, but I know a lot of people did, yeah.
Yeah. And it
Meg actually had a cut.
Yeah, I was bleeding.
A lot of people said
Yeah.
the same thing, yeah.
So
Was Jarrett one of the ones who had it too?
maybe.
Felt like he was.
So the upper is completely new. It feels more like that daily trainer where you have padding in the collar and heel, and it's like more structured. You have a typical gusted tongue. Otherwise, it's pretty light and breathable. But I just think it fits so much better. I also don't really love the sock-like fit all the time.
Yeah. I like the last one because I like that sock fit. It wasn't like as the 1080 sock fit one, the previous one that, or I guess the current one that's out right now. I didn't like that. It was too stretchy, but I felt like the SC Trainer was just right. This one though, it does do a nice job. Meg's talking about the padding on the collar. I believe when we first started running the SC Trainer, the original one, I was getting a little heel lift, and you don't have that problem in this one at all. Where I did find that maybe a little problem, if you tighten up over this spot on the laces, which is up towards the top of the tongue, I did feel a little bit of lace bite on my ankle, but I adjusted it. It was fine.
Do you feel like it has the same, like, is this just a trainer now? Like, or is this like the same zone as the Trainer V1?
Well, so
SC Trainer?
the stacks come down a little bit, and it feels like the first thing I noticed when I laced it up is that it feels a lot more stable. You know how like the SC Trainer, you felt kind of like you were up there on stilts a little bit?
Yeah.
This one feels way more stable.
Okay.
So it does land more in that like daily trainer category. Thomas and I were talking about how it's pretty versatile. It got almost an ounce lighter.
Right.
Which isn't, it's still not, for my size 10.5, it's 10.4 ounces, and the original was 11.4 ounces.
Yeah.
So it's an ounce lighter. It feels lighter. It's still not as light as, like, say, Super Blast or something like that, but I do feel it's in that category of shoe where you might be able to extend the use of the shoe from daily miles to recovery miles to even picking up the pace a little bit.
That's what I was kind of going for. All right. That's what I suspected.
Tell them why it's more stable, Meg.
Well, the stack is a little bit lower, and then also the way that this midsole is cut here, where the energy arc is, it used to be like a very harsh, deep,
straight down
cut, and now it's angled.
Yeah.
And it was also a little wider.
Yeah.
Like the cutout part was wider, so you had less shoe on the sides.
So the foam feels fairly similar. It's just less dense, so it's a little bit lighter. And then you have the same carbon fiber plate. I'm really liking it.
Okay.
I don't think people will be upset. Like, I know people were very nervous about this. I was very nervous about this. It doesn't have quite that like sink in bounciness.
Yeah.
It feels like a little bit more stable, but I mean, I like it a lot.
Yeah, the marketing term is dynamic. It doesn't
Dynamic.
has as much of a dynamic heel as the last one, but I would agree
it's
with
a
Meg.
static heel.
It feels good underfoot. I do think people would be happy with it. I think that any trade-off that you'd have in the stack height or in that squishy feel is made up for in the weight loss.
Yeah.
And it just feels a little faster underfoot. Also, the drop has changed.
Yeah, it went from 8 to 6. So.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be available June 7th, $180.
All right.
How much is the Super Blast going for now?
200.
200 flat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Final check-in for today. We're now heading into the last drop portion of the podcast. It's my favorite part, where things tend to go a little bit off the rails. But if you're still running right now, this is the part of your run where it might start going off the rails too. Maybe you're accidentally doing a fast finish. Maybe you're letting the heart rate rise a little bit harder than you had intended for today. I want to say, let's pump the brakes. Let's slow it down just a little bit. And remember, you got to run today so you can run tomorrow. The goal is you don't want to try and win your training block on a Saturday in the woods, but rather you want to be able to put in that consistent work day after day, month after month, year after year. And that's where we'll be able to have the most success, but also the most fun in running. So thanks for hanging out with me on the check-ins for today. Hope you had a great run. Thanks, Believe in the Run, for letting me participate. This was a lot of fun.
We need to talk about grit.
Let's talk about it.
That was crazy.
Thank you to y'all,
Yeah.
to everyone.
It opened, Robbie.
Yeah, grit opened on Memorial Day. That's a hard word to say, Memorial Day.
Memorial.
Yeah. And, man,
Megan's mom makes
Memorial muffins.
meatballs on Memorial Day.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know where we're going with
Thanks. We had 1,500 people sign up in the first day.
Wow.
We're out of a lot of sizes.
that. Yeah, and I think people were a little bit, some people who got in late on the sign up were like, man, why is my size out? Look, we can only do what we can do. We can only control the controllables.
Yeah.
And that's really, there's a certain amount of shirts that we can get. And unfortunately, some are more than the others and whatnot. But either way, like, thank you to everyone who signed up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what people do this July because it seems like, the first time we did it, people were like, okay, what is this? The second time, people started getting the hang of it. Now it's just its own animal, like with teams and like, just people are doing crazy stuff. I know that we talked about Pat Blair possibly doing, what was he going to do? A marathon every day?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess.
He'll probably do more.
Is
than
that shocking?
Like
No,
they do.
I
He
guess
was pretty
not.
close to it before. Yeah.
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 But and other people heard that and they're like, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah. I think Taylor was maybe going to go for the elevation and then he broke his foot. So not going to do that.
Wait, he broke his foot?
Yeah. Our lead trail reviewer broke his foot.
How'd he do that?
I heard Runner's World went out there and hit him with a stick.
Yeah. With one of those billy clubs. But he was just running and I think he had something going on for a while and thought it was better. I don't know if it was a stress fracture or the beginnings of one or something. And then he just, I guess.
I like it when people call them stressies.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think in Australia they call them stressies.
Like Nessie, like the Loch Ness Monster, but for stress fractures?
He got taken out by a stressy.
That actually is cool.
Cool? Is that the word?
Yeah. Kind of like calling plantar fasciitis plantar.
PF.
We talked about this.
Yeah. Got the PF.
We need to make a list of cool names for injuries. What's another common one?
An injury?
Shin splints.
Achilles tendonitis.
Oh, yeah. What's a good one for that? Tendies.
Tendies. I like it.
Achilles tendies.
Achilles tendies. We got, you got PF or do you like a...
Oh, P.F. Chang's, but for plantar fasciitis.
Yeah. And then you've got stressies. You've got what shin splints. What would be one for that? Shinnies.
I feel like you can't keep putting E's on the end of words, then it gets too.
He's got
It's like when
shinnies. I like that.
my kids name pets, they just put an E on the end of a name. You know what I mean? Crabby,
Yeah.
doggy. Well, that's actually is a word.
Yeah. But it's IE, I think. Or why? Is it
stressy.
No, it's IE.
What about runner's knee? That's a thing.
Yeah. People love that one.
Needs.
Runnies?
Runnies.
Are you-
Runnies.
Are you actually making this list?
Yeah.
Okay, for what purpose?
I don't actually know.
We could have a
list.
T-shirt like point where it hurts.
Yeah. Oh, like the game of operation, but have the words,
runner.
have the labels.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come up with other ones. We'll do it more.
I
on the
like
next
how this
show.
conversation started out as grit and then landed with
Oh, yeah.
injuries.
These are all the injuries you'll get during grit.
Enjoy. Yeah. I don't know, man. So the last 2 summers, I was able to do the 300 miles.
Oh, that's right. What about this summer?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Megan's looking at me like I shouldn't do it.
I'm like, you just get healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do need to get help.
You
Get
go from
well.
0 to 60, and then you wonder why you get injured.
It's so much fun though. Like I really like doing the long, slow miles in the heat. Like,
Oh yeah, trying to just figure out ways to run is weird.
yeah.
Like if you're just not doing something, you're like, I might as well get in a mile.
Or it's even like you normally like. So sometimes our house is up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go run a little bit further out so we don't have to do the hill on the way back. But when it's grit, you're like, just do the
Get
hill.
in that extra 0.2 of a mile.
Exactly.
It adds up.
I remember
It does add up.
Yeah. It certainly does.
You get in an extra quarter mile at the end of each run the last day of grit. That's like 6 miles you don't have to run or something more than that. But I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But
See, what's also irritating is Megan gets to 300 just with her normal training.
it's not even a thing.
Like you don't even try, and it's like boom.
I don't know if I could get to 2. I think my biggest grit was 226.
What is that a week?
It was like 60, a little less than 60 average. I think I did like 45, 55, 65, 70 or something like that. That's kind of what I did. But and that was a grit. I sprained my ankle on the first day, like pretty badly.
That should be a name. You got to have Ankies.
What is it? Ankies?
Ankies.
Sprankles.
Sprankles.
Sprinkles.
Sprankles. The sneak grit. Yeah.
Is that the Law of Attraction book? The sneak grit?
The sneak grit, yeah.
For runners?
Yeah, if you want to hit a certain time, you got to
read the sneak grit.
The sneak grit.
We should write that.
Manifest.
Yeah. Manifest your grit. But I saw something about how, I think I saw this yesterday. They're in that book, The Secret, there was a woman who said she was like cured herself of breast cancer by doing the whatever they do in that book.
Secrets.
Yeah. And it's in the book and in the movie, she died of breast cancer then.
Oh.
Like, I'm like, I feel like you should have to edit that out of the book at this point, right?
Yeah, because you don't want people trying that if it didn't work.
Yeah. Or just don't try it ever. Like, you have cancer, you should probably go to the doctor.
Yeah.
It seems like
she was advising to skip all that and just...
Yeah. Like, it's in the book that she cured herself from doing the Law of Attraction thing or whatever they do in The Secret.
It's that.
And then, so maybe at the time it worked for temporarily or wasn't, had, what do you call it when it goes away?
Remission.
Remission.
But see, here's the crazy thing for me. I feel like they tell you not to think about something if you don't want it to happen, which makes me think about that thing more.
Oh, yeah. It's like my tinnitus.
Like I'm in a cycle. Like it's like if I have a bad thought or something, then I'm like, well, that bad thought will lead to that actually happening. I'm like, whoa.
I do think there's a little bit of realness to it. Like if you do think about something,
Well, yeah, but that's like when you buy a car and you see the same car everywhere because you're like
cognitive bias.
Yeah, it's like if you are focused on wanting a particular thing and doing a particular thing, your actions are going to follow.
Yeah.
That. So it's not like magic happens. It's like you focus on it and you go towards it.
Yeah. Like if you're focused on exactly a certain business goal or whatever, you'll just notice the things you need to do to achieve that goal because you're so focused on it. And that's really all it is.
Yeah. But if you just tell people it's magic, they're more willing to do it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's mystical.
The sneaker.
They're like, oh, this easy thing where I just think something and everything comes aligning.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
do,
Like,
but-
no, you're just focusing on a goal.
And we haven't done it in a while, but I do think that when we did those goal boards,
Yeah.
it's a daily reminder of looking at.
Oh,
Where you
I
wanna
found my goal board from when we first started here, and I looked at it, and it was pretty crazy.
Like all the stuff.
Pretty much like
Did you do everything?
Everything came true almost.
Yeah, mine too.
Which was like, and I wasn't even super intentional about it.
Yeah.
Even that, there's something, if you just write it down, it almost is like comes to be.
Oh, that's scary because I wrote some weird shit down.
Yeah.
I don't want that happening.
Yeah. Your list of people that you want taken out. Hopefully I'm not on it. But but I do feel like in the last week, my tinnitus has gotten a little bit better.
That's
Has
good.
been better. Stop.
Like, do you notice it daily or is this like a.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But instead of all the time, it seems to be more intermittent, which is good. So we'll
Well,
see.
now that we brought it up, you're definitely going to start
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, is that supposed to be a tinnitus?
No, I was trying to find
That's the
a good
worst
one.
tinnitus
Yeah, it was.
replication I've ever heard.
Hold on. I gotta get it.
That's me searching for my phone.
Yeah, that's like the worst alarm.
Oh, that.
I hate when people don't change their alarm
from the
from the jarring, like whatever the default is.
Well, I don't understand because like I have a really cool one for my daily alarm, like that's like slowly builds and goes up, but they don't have those for like if you go into your ringtones for regular, like you don't have that.
Oh,
These are the
remember
crappy
back in the
ones.
day? We're good. Remember back in the day when we had flip phones and you would really think about the ringtone you had? Like
Wait.
what song you were playing?
You had to buy them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purchase the
Remember, you'd
ringtone.
buy like
Yeah.
songs to be your.
You can still do that.
And it's like it's like your hourly wage for your job is how much you had to pay
Yeah.
for a song.
Look,
and you were willing to do it.
Yeah.
there's a tone store.
Oh,
and
so
there's-
they still have that?
Yeah, I'm looking at my.
No, but those are
settings
just
right
those
now.
are tones. Those aren't
No.
like songs.
Can you do
Yeah, but
songs?
you can get songs too.
Oh,
I have A-Punk. Who doesn't want?
Wait, you still
Who
you
doesn't
have
wanna wake up?
you have Vampire Weekend on yours?
Yeah. Who doesn't want to wake up to that?
Apparently, you can still get songs. I don't know how.
this is news.
Oh, I'm gonna get some Fleetwood Mac
What's this
now
one?
that I'm.
Oh, little grizzly bear.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but remember when everyone did it though, for real?
Yeah, that was like a big thing.
That was part of your identity.
Yeah.
Oh, remember when you had answering machines and you would record song? Or did I just only do that?
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
On my parents' answering machine.
You recorded songs?
Yeah, I would have like. It would
Like
be
an intro. It's
intro.
like Robbie's not here. Chicka-pow-pow.
It would be like I can't believe my parents let me do this because it was crazy.
It was on the family phone?
Yeah, they let me do it, and it was like Smashing Pumpkins and I don't know, Oasis and stuff.
And then you would just be like, hey, you've reached
Yeah,
the
and
wedding
then I'd
list.
have like a quote from the song, like a line from the song in it.
Like I don't understand because like you can just put songs on from your iTunes. I think.
Okay, you need to stop.
Okay.
We need to go back to this.
Yeah.
You recorded this like often?
Oh yeah, like probably once a month at least. I changed it up.
Were you
I'd
like DJ
I remember
Robbie?
I had the Cranberries on there before.
Don't let it linger.
No Dreams, 'cause that's a good intro. And then I'd have be like, "Hello, you've reached the Reddingers." You know how many special people change or something. I don't know, something like that. Like that's Oasis.
How many people? Yeah.
But it'd be or it'd have a quote from a movie. I would do movies sometimes.
No, like my mom, I think, recorded ours and it was a standard, hello, you've reached the Murrays.
Oh no, it was a production for me. Like you had.
Did
to do it
anybody
on-
ever comment like, "Hey, I really love you guys' messages"?
I don't remember. I wish I still had those tapes though.
Me too.
But
So
they're,
bad.
They're little tiny ones. Though.
Yeah, little baby tapes.
Little baby tapes. Why would you want the tape?
Because that's hilarious.
To
I want to
listen-
hear
to
this.
listen to how they
You want
sounded.
his tapes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted your tapes.
Yeah.
No, I don't have little tapes.
No, it feels cringe to even think about it now because I think, man, my parents, why would they let me do such a thing? Like, that's embarrassing for my whole
What were you,
family.
like 12?
Like 15.
Do you think
14,
they knew that
15?
you were doing it?
They allowed it.
You
It's
can
an
hear,
answer
remember
machine.
answering machines when they go off, you hear
Yeah.
it in the
Oh,
whole
that's
house.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was quite a production that was going on with it. I spent.
So
way
did
too
you
much
guys
time.
have a wireless receiver or did you have the cord to the wall?
At that point, I think we did. Yeah, we had a wireless phone, but we only had. I don't think we had 2 lines.
Did it have the telescoping top?
We had one of those for a while, yeah, but yeah, I don't think we had 2 lines for ever.
Yeah,
call waiting.
Same with us, because then the internet happened and we had dial up, and I'd always be upstairs like chatting on, and no calls could go through, and my dad would be losing his mind because I'd just be on there for hours.
Yep. And it was funny.
That sound when you picked up the phone was the worst.
Screeching.
It was funny at the Blink-182 concert when some of the lyrics from their songs or reference things like call waiting or things like that. And I'm like, man, that's so weird to think about. Nobody even knows what that is anymore.
They'll have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, call waiting.
Like you didn't also, until caller ID came around, you didn't know who was calling you.
But that's what made answering the phone so fun.
It did, but it was also it was scary.
Yeah.
You'd be like, damn it.
Yeah, I think I was reading something about that where it was, if you think about that, you just had to be places when you agreed to, like, everyone, there's a social contract that if you were with some people and you were like, we have to meet here, you had to meet there. And if somebody didn't show up, you're like, maybe they died, maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
You had no idea. You're just like, well, I guess we either wait longer or just keep going.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like you used to have, like, I remember when I would get frustrated, it's like I was supposed to go to my friend's house. So you call and be like, hey, I'm going to leave here in a little minute. And their phone would be busy.
Yeah.
And you're like, get off the phone. Get off. Like, because you're like,
I mean, think about how much time you just spent waiting.
Well, also.
There's just a lot of waiting going on.
Because there was one line in the house.
Maybe everyone was a little bit less anxious and crazy then because we had like some downtime.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Do you remember like when you got a busy, how many times you'd like pick up the phone to like call that number again?
No. I know, but you just resign. You're just like, well, what am I going to do? There's nothing. It's just, I mean,
hello?
I was thinking yesterday about how bored we were. And I remember at my friend's house, we would take frozen bottles of water out of the freezer and you just sit it in the middle of the room and just wait to see it expand and then blow the cap off and hit the ceiling. And we just sit around until we were literally watching ice melt.
You might be alone on this.
Did you have nothing else to do?
We might have been playing Sega or something in between, but we just keep the bottle of water right there. And it was exciting just to, the ice would melt and then the bottle expanded, like the cap will blow off, and like that was just a part of your day that was cool.
All right.
I don't know why that's reminding.
It
might be the time zone, but it's reminding. It doesn't even go together. But it was the same time when you were watching water defrost. I was trying to unclog a spray paint can. So I had a needle. And I'm looking down.
Nice. I already know what's happening. Yeah.
Boosh. My entire face got covered in red spray paint.
That's amazing.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you've got to do cool things like that.
blowing.
Now you would like Google or YouTube and say, how do I unclog a spray paint can? Do it the right way. Before you just had to figure it out.
I think you learned the one time. But like, yeah, we used to do dangerous stuff like blowing stuff up. Like if there was a garbage can lid that didn't have the handle on it and it just had that little metal.
Yeah.
We'd slide a M80 in there.
There you go.
Light it up, shoot that thing any direction.
Yeah.
Man,
makes me happy to think about
The good old times.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you couldn't call someone, you went outside and did stuff.
Yep. Just bored and figure out how to.
Yeah, but now the kids just make TikToks. So there's that.
That's so ephemeral. You can't even have a memory from that. You're like,
well, you can because
you
you'll
can
go
forever,
back, you
it's
watch your TikTok.
I guess, but
I do think it's going to be embarrassing at some point for some of these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sounds cooler? Oh, we did this dance where we blew up a trash can with an M80.
Yeah. We tied a rope to the back of a car and rode our skateboard.
Yeah. And got road rash the whole way down our arm and leg.
I mean, we did stupid stuff. Like our friends who had motorbikes.
Yeah.
We'd tie like a rope to it.
Yeah.
Get a skateboard or another bike and try to just see how fast we could get it going.
Definitely. Man. All right. Well, that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
101 here at Believe in the Run. Comment on your favorite
Another fun thing to
90s
do, I'm
things to
surprised
do.
you didn't do this living out in the country, is we used to take fishing line, tie it to 2 tennis ball cans, empty tennis ball cans, go across the road from each other. When a car came, you raised it up. The string would catch on the wheel,
Oh.
and it would spin the bottles in. So they go,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh,
That's a good one.
So they would pull over and they'd look and they don't see anything because it's under the car.
Yeah.
They'd look and they'd be like, what is that? And they start driving away and they're ka-dunk, 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 and they stop.
Wow,
and
you
they'll-
guys are awful.
Man, that's a good one.
And
I'm
we were
surprised
just-
he didn't do that.
We were just sitting in the bushes trying not to lose our
That's good because it's not really, you're not really damaging the car. It's just funny.
No, one guy did chase us down. Like
Oh, yeah.
we ended up having to jump a couple fences and stuff.
Deserved it.
I never tried to do things that would actually damage property, although a lot of my friends did. Like,
Yeah,
so
I
I know
can't
you
say.
did, but yeah. But I always think I was pretty scared about getting in trouble that way. But I would just like to do pranks that weren't like really.
Well, wait, do you consider like mailbox baseball?
Yeah, I would say that. All my friends did that, and I
Okay.
didn't do it.
Okay, that's hurting someone, right?
Yeah, I would
Okay,
say
yeah.
so.
It is.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. But so all my friends would do that. And my uncle, he ended up he made stuff like out of metal and things. And he made a mailbox that was like hard steel. Like, and that but he painted it to look like a real nice mailbox. Someone probably lost their hands on that thing. Cause they were bashing the mailboxes on that road probably every week.
Yeah.
And he finally put one up that would look just like a normal mailbox. I would have
Bang.
someone felt it for sure. But anyways,
Good old days.
so any other things we got to talk about?
No, we're going to Boulder in about a week.
Yep.
Well, when this comes out, it'll be a couple days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're going that soon?
Yeah,
It's
and
on
we'll
Monday.
be there in a week.
Oh, jeez. All right, I gotta start stretching.
Yeah, I got to do sleep in my altitude tent tonight.
You and
Yeah.
Casey Comer.
I don't think it's something that we can invite the public to, but
It's not like a group run event,
yeah,
right?
we'll be doing photos and videos, and you'll be able to follow along. But it's exciting. It's one of the brand shoes is coming out. They want to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. Can't wait for my mouth to be completely feel like sandpaper whenever I'm in Colorado and you wake up in the middle of the night and you're just like,
Because
everything's dried out. Yeah. Can never drink enough water.
I think I'm okay.
Just hydrate more, dude.
No, I do, but I sleep with my mouth open and then it's bad enough as it is. But when you're out there, just everything disappears moisture wise.
Don't leave you out in the desert.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. On that note,
Yeah.
I think we're.
Wait, when you sleep with your mouth open, are you on a lagoon pillow?
Yeah, I am, but that's I don't think that's the issue.
Okay.
I think it's
I just thought I'd give him another shout.
I think I have a deviated septum, which that's what it's called, right?
I don't know, but you can get a nose job if you have a deviated septum. I think
Well,
that's
I went
the trick.
when I got my COVID tests back when they were doing that. Still, one was like, "Yeah, you have a deviated septum," and I thought, I didn't know that.
Let's think about that though. Like, can't anything be deviated? I mean, like a little bit off. Is that all it means?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't
have
even
no
know
idea
if
what
that was the right
technical term
word.
is. Yeah.
All I know is a lot of people use that medical term so they can get a free nose job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you need
Oh, I see what
surgery
you're
to
saying.
correct your deviated septum. As long as we're doing that, why don't we shave the bump down?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to get that. I'm pretty happy with where my nose is at right now. So
It's a nice nose.
thank you.
I mean, it's
far, so
definitely
good.
probably the second best nose in this room.
Wow.
I'm gonna give Megan top nose.
All right. Yeah.
You got a nice little nose.
Yeah, so I don't know about the deviated septum stuff. If that's something I should get checked out, I don't think I will.
What if
Tend
it
not
would
to.
make you faster?
I actually Googled that. Does it, if you have a thing like that, and get it fixed, does that make you run better? And it seemed to be inconclusive about the evidence.
Well, if you can breathe better,
Right, that's what you think. Because right now it's like my nose is like not.
do you ever use
quite-
them strips when you race?
No, but Pat Blair uses those all the time. He swears
right.
by them. Yeah.
I've used them for several races. I think they're good.
I should try that out because that seems like a cheap thing to do.
It is, but the problem is, well, you don't sweat as much as me. As soon as I start sweating, it's ping.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't last
They don't
long
make
if you-
sports versions of them?
Kind of, but not really. They never. If you sweat enough, it's going to come off.
Meg, were you trying to end the show?
I was, but you guys just, kept chatting about
we
things.
should end this show. All
right.
People are
Well,
anyone's still
thanks for
listening.
sticking around. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed Kafuzi's check-ins this week.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Those
Yep.
were fun. I think I have an idea for another celebrity check-in.
okay.
All right.
do it.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Brandon, for editing this up. And hi, Ma.
Apparently, hi Ma too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I
You
guess
guys got to
I'll
start
throw a
saying hi
hi,
to your
Ma.
Mas.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's in. All right. And this is the best way to find out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I will not be a good friend.
All right. Bye.